The world is now watching for the famous smoke to come billowing out of the Sistine Chapel. To help us understand what will be happening at the Papal Conclave, the acting vice president for mission integration at Linnane College, Father Brian Linnane. Father, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. It's great to be with you.
Before we go through the process, who is it exactly that's there that's picking the Pope? Who are these cardinals?
These cardinals are picked from throughout the world. It's interesting to see how it has spread, particularly under Francis's time, that they are obviously leaders in the church. Most of them, although under Francis this has changed, but most of them have been leaders of major archdioceses around the world. But Francis has been famous for picking people. Well, for example, San Diego in California. Never had a cardinal before, probably won't have one again. But Francis named the Bishop of San Diego, Robert McElroy, cardinal. He's now the Archbishop of Washington, D.C. So that these are a group of really outstanding people who have had exemplary careers in the church, either as leaders of dioceses, or a number of them would be what we'd say like cardinals of the Curia, that they work in the Vatican.
Gotcha. So, Father, I have to ask you now this question, kind of a follow-up to that. How does somebody get under consideration to be the next Pope?
I think that, again, sort of somebody, well, I think that they're constantly looking, constantly being aware of who is probably, who's capable of being the Pope, whether they're looking for somebody with international stature or somebody with pastoral acumen. I think that people have their own ideas about who the next Pope should be or what type of person, and they begin to pick those people out. Obviously, you know, there are only 180 or so cardinals. It's a very small pool.
So Francis was the first Latin American pontiff. Do you think that the cardinals may be looking this time where? Some particular place in the world, or does it literally have to do with who the candidates are, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I definitely think that having picked a non-European Pope makes it easier to do it again. Just as people were surprised when John Paul II was elected as Polish Pope, people weren't that surprised when Benedict was elected. So if the Pope comes from the Philippines, which they say one of the principal candidates that people really like, I think that he's doing well in the betting realm. But, you know, so I don't think that would be shocking. I wouldn't be surprised.
What is the process of the voting? Like, how do we work through this? Does somebody start throwing out names? Do you put them on? I mean, like, how does it go? It's so secretive in there. What do we know about the actual process itself?
There's no politicking. There's no nominating. That the cardinals vote blindly. They do not share their votes. The votes are turned in, and again, I mean, if you saw the movie Conclave, they say that that's a pretty good representation. That you see that there are a number of people who sort of come to the fore quickly, and then some people who maybe draw back over the period of ballots. That's why I think it's interesting at this time, where we have so many new cardinals, so many cardinals from all over the world, that they really don't know one another. So it may take a while for them to feel comfortable with setting on the one who is the Pope.
It's been happening for hundreds of years, and I mentioned it at the very top of this interview here. The smoke from the Sistine Chapel.
Yes.
How is it actually produced? I did a little research, but you tell me exactly, and our viewers here.
Yeah, the tradition was always, you know, when I was a kid in school, the tradition always was that when the Pope, they didn't elect a Pope, they dampened the ballots, and that would produce a gray or a black smoke coming out of the chimney, and that when they had the white smoke, those were dry ballots. But actually, at least according to the New York Times, that chemicals are added to assure that the smoke is the appropriate color.
But they literally burn the votes.
Yes, they do. Yeah. They set up a chimney in the Sistine Chapel, or a stove.
Last one for you. I got about 30 seconds. Give me your educated guess as to how long we think it's going to take to get a new Pope.
I don't know how educated it is, but I have the feeling of 3 days.
Okay. Well, we will see. Father Linnane from Linnane College, thanks so much for spending some time with us. Really appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you.